old Nintendo gamer.
And son.
I finished Paper Mario. It was quite quickly after. I thought I'm quite glad it was quite quick as well. They didn't stretch things out after entering Peach's castle. They didn't stretch the story out too far. It was quite a short last trot to fight Ollie as the final boss, as you should imagine, because he is the antagonist of the game. So I finished it off, and I suppose as my thoughts have consolidated, what a story. I mean, yes, the battle mechanic of the twisting, and I know Greg doesn't like slide puzzles, so this would put you off. A lot of the fights in some of the latter fights as well, they end up being slide puzzles. And I mean, like, really complicated slide puzzles. They'll chop the board up into 12 pizza segments, slices, and then they'll spin individual, rotation and slide, and then you've got to fit back those pieces back. Now that's not such an issue, but you've got 60 seconds to do it, and that was a challenge on the last one. And I thought I got it all. I got all the reds together, got all the blues, and it's like, oh no, it's inverted. I needed to do it on the other side and then twist it around, and it was a challenge, but apart from the battle mechanics getting maybe a little bit repetitive, everything else in the game has been sublime. Absolute Nintendo polish and quality. The story is probably one of the best in a Paper Mario game I've played. Olivia has just been so funny, this forgetful origami girl whose brother's gone off the rails, basically. The emotions she goes through as the story's telling, I can't say enough good things about it. And then I thought about Nick talking about Luigi's Mansion 3 a couple of weeks back as well, and you basically saying the Nintendo magic for that as well. And I played through it last year, and I'm looking at both games side by side, which one is better, and I can't say. They're both as delightful as each other. They do different things, basically. And where Luigi's Mansion 3 is a shorter, sharper experience of using mechanics and visuals as well through those mechanics, Paper Mario does it also, but in a different way with added storytelling. It could be my game of the year.
Ooh,
really, really delightful game. Something I did play that was new, though, so something to talk about, is Florence. This is a port. This should be a short one, because the game was very short. This was a mobile port, basically. It came on a mobile game, and it is evident in its game design that it comes from a mobile game. But its visual design is pencil-drawn sketches. There's this quite a nice flowing animation to the pencil drawn sketches. There's splashes of color, that uses color very wisely. In most of it is in black and white, but then it uses color to enliven certain things or draw memories. For example, might be in gray, and then something that's happy and vivid in the moment, in the present, will be then infused with color. So they use the use of color and animation, and the visual style they've gone for is simple but quite delightful, and the music then in the background enhances all that. There's these beautiful orchestral piano pieces, solo piano pieces, solo cello pieces. I do like a good cello solo, and this provides them with aplomb. It's really, really nice music in the background there as well. As a storytelling experience, the story follows this girl called Florence, the titular character, from her monotonous day. So you start up, the alarm is going off, you press the A button, and then she has a snooze. 15 minutes later, the alarm goes off again, you press the A button again, and it's kind of told then through these scrolling through kind of like a cartoon, a hand-drawn book, like a manga. So it follows her monotonous day, then it goes back to her memories, and her memories basically tell you about how she's in this monotonous, boring accounting job at the moment because of her mother, basically. A bit of a tiger mother forcing her into doing math at a young age. And then she hooks up with a boyfriend who rekindles her love for art because he's the cello player in the game. So she gets rekindled for art. She looks towards art. It goes through part of their life of living together, having their first fight, making up, and dating. And then I won't spoil the ending, but it's a very short game, 40 minutes, and it's done. I suppose you could fly through it even quicker, but I was taking my time because I was recording as well, so I wanted to make sure when the story is scrolling up, that it scrolls at a nice rate and all that. There's nothing new to the story, boy meets girl, they have a fight, they fall out, they live together, they break apart, they do that. She meets him by falling off her bicycle, and then as she comes to, he's there above her. It's all very by the numbers romantic comedy. Gameplay wise though, it's even more simple. I mean, it shows its kind of mobile centric roots, that you're pressing A lot to progress the story or go through the next chapter. You're pulling up and down on the stick to make the story scroll up the screen. There'll be scenes where it wants to show time passing, so you'll rotate the L stick to make a clock rotate, and then you can see like a flower growing in the background as she's growing as a character, showing a visual representation of time passing, and you're doing it with a control stick. There's a lot of little mini games, like as she hears the cello for the first time, she starts floating down the street. So you manipulate her with a control stick to go up and down and collect the notes as you're working your way towards this love interest, Trish, that she meets for the first time. There's a lot of monotonous, rather, because there's too many of them, sliding jigsaw puzzles for dialogue boxes. So this dialogue box, you have 3 puzzle pieces which look like puzzle pieces, and you have to slide them down into the correct place to complete the dialogue box. There's no dialogue whatsoever. It's all told through visual representation, but you fill in these and you progress the story. And you could be doing like 6 of these dialogue box puzzles in a row, and after the third one you're thinking 3's the charm. If you ever watch a movie and you're watching a well constructed movie, if something is repeated 3 times is enough, and that's it. You move on to the next scene. This overstays its welcome in some of its puzzle mechanics. And that's about it, basically. It's incredibly short, a little bit repetitive at times with some of the puzzling. There's not much to the story, but it's a little, it'll stay with me. If you can pick this up for a bargain on the eShop for 50 pence to £1, it might be worth spending an hour with Florence.
Mm-hmm. Good.
No, not bad. Shorter than I thought, anyway. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.